Okay.
We'll call into order this meeting of the Bisbee Arts Commission at 5:30 p.m. on August 5th, 2019. First things first, roll call.
Juanetta Hill,
Present.
Karen Schumacher,
Present.
Sharon Stetter,
Present.
Laura Morgan is excused, Kay Drew Wilkinson,
Present.
Sandra Smith,
Here.
Bill Higgins,
Present.
Nina Williams here.
There's a couple things I want to mention is that, like Nina said, it's a reminder for everyone to talk into their microphones. And if Bill, if you want to say something, I guess we'll have to have you come over, or you can just speak into that microphone. We actually have a guest this evening. I learned of it a little too late to put it on the agenda, but I asked Miss Kate Scott to come to Call to the Public because she had a fabulous project. I want to remind the commission, the sad thing about Call to the Public is that we can't actually ask her questions or respond.
And it's only 3 minutes.
It's 3 minutes, but it'll give us a nice introduction to your project if you want to explain what it is.
Well, as you said, my name is Kate Scott. I'm the co-founder and director of the Modern Archipelago Wildlife Center located in the Huachuca Mountains. My intention in presenting to you this evening is for your consideration in underwriting the production of a small book focusing on the issues and concerns regarding the border wall in our county, going through sensitive areas, most notably the San Pedro Riparian National Conservation Area and the San Bernardino National Wildlife Refuge. Last month, my husband and I, we created the book, the San Pedro Anthology, spotlighting the concerns regarding Bureau of Land Management's resource management plan of the river. We sent out a letter, we asked for creative submissions, essays and poems from the surrounding communities to underscore our commitment in protecting the river. Now this book is being used to influence decision makers, city, local, state, federal. In constructing a wall, a catastrophically 30-foot border wall, impermeable, in the riparian area will be 3.5 football fields long. In the San Bernardino, it will be a 20-mile segment. We will impact a number of species. 250 migratory birds, 10 listed under endangered species, 12 BLM sensitive species, 28 species of greatest conservation need. San Bernardino is a major wildlife migratory corridor. You may know the 21 threatened and endangered species, most notably the jaguar, the ocelot, the Mexican wolf, the Mexican long-nosed bat, the Mexican spotted owl. They'll be extremely impacted by an impermeable barrier, 24/7 lighting. And these are the words written by Scott. All these numbers were from a letter recently sent to the Department of the Interior, July 3rd. Paul Enriquez, to U.S. Customs and Border Protection, Paul Enriquez. To date, our agency has not been consulted at all about design, and they had really no idea that there have been contractors on the ground from people that I know that are watching these sensitive areas, and the contractors were surprised that they hadn't been able to start. So Congress still needs to decide what to do about border wall funding this fall. With the segments of the border wall being designed as I speak within our county and with possible construction beginning as soon as October, the time is now to send senators and members of Congress a clear message. And I also have all the information of the key senators that were detailed for me from a good friend who's part of the Border Coalition. So with your help and the talented people that live here in Bisbee,
You have
and
30
surrounding
seconds.
communities, our collective voices can make a difference, and thank you very much.
I'm not allowed to ask a question. Can we circulate that book? I'm asking you.
Yes, you can circulate the book.
Right. I thought it was a beautiful.
And I can leave these if you like.
That's great. Any
I have these
information?
for Southwest Wing.
So because we were too late, like I said, to put it on this agenda, I just wanted to have an introduction, and then maybe we could put it on the next agenda if everybody wants to give a look at the book and some of the information.
And the request would be for us to publish the book?
To underwrite the production of it.
Right. I mean, it's been published, right?
That particular one, it would have
It would be different.
There's a
different
little
one.
more additional things.
Yeah, and I'm happy to leave the letter too, if you'd like.
Would it be possible to read the book? Is that
Yes, yeah, I will
Okay.
do that. Yes, because it does detail everything.
so?
Thank you.
what we'll do is we'll be in contact about the
Alright.
next agenda. I just wanted to start the conversation.
I appreciate it.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. I'm gonna do something exciting now, which is I'm gonna start moving these numbers around on our agenda so that our esteemed guests do not have to stay through the same thing. So we're gonna put Poe at the very end of the agenda.
Of course.
So I'm
That's
gonna
what you get for leaving the commission.
I'm going to move item 8, or to number 1. That's discussion and possible action regarding sponsorship in the amount of $600 to Bratz for the payment of musicians for their upcoming fundraiser on April 17, 2019. I'm going to move item 9 to number 2, discussion and possible sponsorship in the amount of $1,000 to Central School. Actually, let's move that to number 3, I'm sorry. So we can put you on as number 2, okay? Alright. So number 1, Poe, if you'd like to stand, you can steal Bill Higgins' microphone back from him. Borrowed. So like I said, tonight we'll be discussing the sponsorship in the amount of $600 to Bratz for the musicians for their upcoming fundraiser. In your packet, you will see a simple synopsis of what they were requesting. So what I'm asking tonight is that if you have any questions regarding this, and then we will vote on it, okay? I will say that, keep in mind, if you have a conflict of interest, then you have to recuse yourself. So we'll go through that on the vote, okay? All right, Mr. Poe.
Yes. Yes.
So, does anybody want to start?
The question that I was going to propose is, what is the actual cost for the musicians?
It's more than $600, but we just decided we would raise the rest of the money on our own, because we are charging a little bit for people to come to the event. Yeah.
How?
How
How do you charge people?
what are we gonna charge people?
No, how do you charge them?
We're gonna sell tickets for people to come into the event. It's in the backyard at the John Quill. So, so they will have to buy a ticket to get into the backyard.
The only thing that struck me was that if that's 600 is half of your amount for musicians, that's what.
It's well, it's a little more than half.
Mhm. And because it was a high price to pay for musicians.
Yeah, well, Melissa Reeves is coming out from North Carolina, and she's bringing her guitar player with her.
Mhm.
And what we're paying them probably won't even cover their costs for their plane tickets, but we don't, our philosophy is that we don't ask artists to do anything for free, because they get asked so many times to donate stuff, so we always pay our musicians, and Melissa being the top, one of the top musicians around, we're still getting her at a bargain price, I think. And so, plus, we want to have really good musicians, so we have a good turnout for the event, which will also help promote our event, raise awareness for the event, and actually get people that don't know exactly what we're doing, to educate them and hopefully get more people involved. And this year happens to be our 10-year anniversary. We've managed to keep this going for 9 years. This will be our 10 years.
So you don't see it just as a fundraiser, but also informational in that way.
Oh, absolutely, yeah.
Because I do believe you can't put a monetary price on, getting the community involved in an event. So I understand that. I was just saying that I was just thinking that it's going to be very hard to raise enough. I mean,
It's a gamble, but we're up for the task. We've just built a stage in the backyard up there.
it looks great.
We're going to have a food truck. There's going to be a full bar set up. There's going to be we're going to have some 10-year merchandise ready for people to purchase. So we'll make some money. Just I don't know how much, but
And have to pay the expenses.
yeah.
So just as a note, in the future, if we sponsor an event, the one thing the Arts Commission asks, as you probably but you guys were busy, is that we asked to be put on the poster as a sponsor.
Well, we could, when the poster for the event is out.
That's what I was thinking, is that because
yeah,
that's
we could
part of the trade in that sense, so that people could know that we're here to sponsor your events. But I know that in the rush to get events going, sometimes things are forgotten, so.
And the event is the last Saturday of October, so there'll be another poster created.
Yeah,
by
oh, yeah,
the
yeah,
Arts
yeah.
Commission maybe.
The poster that's out there now is just for the
So
fundraiser.
fundraising. And that, the amount for the $600, does it just go to Melissa Reeves, or is it going to the other musicians as well?
Well, we're actually paying Melissa Reeves more than that.
Yeah,
So the money that we get from here will go either to the musicians or for some of our other expenses, but, yeah.
does anybody have any questions?
And in the past, we've only come to the BAC one other time in the last 9 years. Otherwise, we raise up to now, we've raised all our own money for our event. But the event is growing, and the event is getting bigger, and so, of course, there's more expense now involved in putting the event on.
So, when you were talking about selling something to raise money for it, what did you have in mind? Like cards from the gallery, or?
We'll be selling T-shirts for the event, patches. That's all we'll be selling now.
Fair enough.
Any additional questions? I know that in the past, there was an issue because we didn't get your,
Paperwork?
yeah, but we had talked about that as it was a forgiveness policy. Also, many people know that, maybe do not know, that a lot of our records burned in the City Hall fire too. So we decided to take a fresh start on those things. And also because organizations often have different people going through, it's unfair to hold it against one member of an organization when there's so many different people involved. But do I have a motion?
Well, I would motion that we do, this is the stuff we want to do as the Arts Commission, is to promote these events. So I motion that we go ahead and give the amount requested of $600 to help pay for the expense of artists.
Mm-hmm.
And so the report that you bring back to us will be the expenses that you actually incurred, so that we can see that our money went that way.
A second.
All ayes?
Aye.
Thank you, Poe.
Okay, thank you. Thank you very
So
much.
keep in mind, once again, when we put out money, you will not probably get your money until after the event, right? I mean, that 17th. It's right on the.
It's right on that cusp.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
Your money may come after the event.
Yeah, that's
And then, do we have an up-to-date address to send funds to? Or would,
You know what, I'll email you tomorrow to make sure where you want the
Okay,
check
okay.
put to.
okay.
Yeah, and I hope you can all come to the event, and
Thank
we're looking forward
We're
to it.
going to have a poster posted here at the City Hall as well. There's one on the.
No, I just want to say, yeah, you guys, the last couple of years, you guys have really grown this event. It's great.
Yeah, we've got a good team now. All right, thank you.
Thank you, Senor. You can stay if you want. No, I'm just kidding. Poe was once the arts. Poe was a member of the Arts Commission for a long time. So I'm going to go ahead and move. Actually, item 2 is going to be item 2: introduction of new council member to the Arts Commission. So we had Juanetta. Juanetta contacted you, I believe, and one of the things was that. Well, if you want to get up and introduce yourself, that would be the way to start.
Thank you. My name is Lou Pollack, and as you said, I'm the new council member for Ward 3. And I met with Juanita Hill about a week ago, a little bit longer. And we had a real nice talk for about an hour, and she invited me to this meeting, and I readily accepted the invitation. The reason is I've been on the Planning and Zoning Commission for a little over a year now, before I took this position. And I came to realize how important these committees are to the functioning of the city government. I don't see how the city government could operate without them. So it's very important to me as a short-term goal to meet every one of the members of all the committees that serve this city. And I've already done that with 2 or 3 other committees. Now I'm here with you, and I expect to follow through as soon as I figure out how many committees there are. So
30?
22.
22.
it's gonna be a long fall.
Some of them only meet, what, twice a year, too? You gotta
But
look.
it's important. I get to meet you personally, I get to put a name with a face, and I get to ask for favors when the time is
It
right.
actually goes the other way around.
I'm an optimist. So that's my story as far as my credentials in the art arena. I was a art major at the University of Arizona for 2 years, and I became disillusioned with the staff, the faculty, and switched over to English literature. And then I realized I had to make a living, and I went to engineering school. So that's how I linked art back into my creative career by becoming an engineer. So that's all I have to say, except this. I hope I get to meet each of you after the meeting, and look forward to working with you and other members of these volunteer committees in the future.
Yeah, one of the reasons too, I think when I contacted you was actually on the next agenda item, which we'll get to, but just as a think piece, we realized, it's not hard to realize, that most of the arts take place in the small confines of Old Bisbee. When in fact, other parts of our community probably need art more or just as much. And so that was one of the things, is that we were hoping to work with you somewhat in brainstorming about how we could make some impact, or if San Jose had a need, that we could fill it, you know? So.
Well, I've met with several people who have invited me to see the complex where the library annex is. And I see a lot of potential in that facility, not only for sports, but for creative arts also. And I would think that there would be an opportunity there for the city to expand the art interest in the community. And I would work with those people and with Juanita and the rest of you to attempt to encourage people in Ward 3 to get behind this program, this concept of developing the internal and external area of that complex.
What does
Because
that look like to you, that this idea of expanding the arts into that facility? What are you imagining?
they have you been there? Have you? Okay. You know how beautiful it is inside. I was really surprised when I saw what they've done over there. Those facilities, those rooms, would lend themselves nicely to musicians, to studio artists, on a use basis. And the outside environment, if it ever gets developed the way some people have envisioned it, could also lend itself to performing arts outside. But I see that as a central part of the community in the San Jose area. It has the potential to become that. Now, where you get the money, that's up to the people who get behind this program. They're going to have to work just as hard as anybody to make it a reality. As a city council member, I can only do so much, is to try to organize people and get their interest and help them move in the right direction to get these things done. So I was very excited when I saw the facility. I did not expect to see that. I expected to see a rundown, dilapidated facility, especially when you look at how the grounds on the outside have been kept or not kept. So I see potential for that there, as do a lot of people who introduced me to that area. And I would hope that that can grow, that interest can grow.
I think you're very exciting.
I'm an
You get the stamp of approval.
Well,
Well, it's very nice to meet you, and it's the same way to put a face with a name. And I'm hoping that we can, if Juanita wants to continue the conversation, maybe with meeting with you and the library annex people, that would be interesting to see if we could do anything in collaboration with them. I know one of the things that San Jose has lacked for many years, obviously we don't have the funding to do the whole thing, but is a park or something around outside. But I'd love to be able to help in some way, you know?
That would be great. Now, I've already met with the Parks and Recreation Committee, and they're very interested in hearing from individuals in the San Jose area that got me involved in this park idea. And we were going to, I'm attempting to gather up some people that can come to their next meeting. And I understand the mayor's going to be there too, so there is some interest being generated in what's been done so far to try to accommodate a park in that area. And if we can keep that interest going and build on it and involve more committees such as this one, I think there's a good chance that over time, a lot of good things can happen up there. So I'm going to stick around until the end of the meeting so I can meet each one of you if that's okay with you.
You're welcome to. I do apologize, this does seem to be one of our longer agendas.
I've been planning and zoning meetings before, so.
And you're on city council, so. Does anybody have any other questions? Thank you very much.
Thank you.
We kind of bridged into item 3.
That's fine.
I kind of felt like that was going to happen. And that was sort of what I wanted to talk about with, with him, was just the discussion. Just as a starting point, because I really think that it's important to concentrate on the other areas, not just Old Bisbee. And I'm guilty as anybody, those of us that live in Old Bisbee sometimes forget. So
It's a nest in a tree.
it is. And so, unless anybody has anything to add to item 3, discussion of the art needs of the San Jose area, I really just intended that as sort of a jumping off spot, okay?
Well, it's certainly what I got from it was that the place inside was beautiful and that the grounds weren't, but there's enough grounds to be beautiful.
And
And so that's going to rope people into that. We've got some really great artists.
And one of the ways the Arts Commission, I think, could help is maybe, we've been talking about public art,
Yes.
and seeing it, and we're always talking about murals, so anything like that, if we can work in collaboration with, maybe we can come up with a way of adding to it.
Nice.
Is there a good wall for a mural there?
I think they're actually doing it. There's a loophole there where the city can put murals on, I don't know, because they put a mural on that building, right?
That's the county.
Is that the county's building? I don't know, it would be interesting to see, because I think that the city's supposed to go through design and review board before they put a mural on anything. But I think the library annex is putting a mural on it without going through design and review board. And I do not understand how that works.
Maybe they forgot
Maybe they forgot.
and just started.
But,
There's a long explanation for how that came about, which would take too much time to go into right at the moment. How the design and review board ended up being the entity that approved.
I knew that. I'm just curious about the mural process for the library, but it's just an aside.
Well, I don't know how that works either.
Yeah. But we can figure that out some of the meeting. So, does anybody have anything to add to item 3? I just wanted something for us to be present about. So, then I'm going to go ahead and go back to item 1, approval of the minutes of the July 1st, 2019 meeting. The second page, you should have your minutes. If you want to take a second and read over it.
May I bring attention to item 3?
Yes.
It is a discussion and possible approval for Sharon Stetter, myself, to purchase boxes and canvases for the cigarette machine and for her to be reimbursed the amount. I no longer want to be reimbursed.
Oh,
That's
yeah,
why we have
I want-
it's on
Item
the,
6 is
Is
actually,
it back on here? Okay.
Yeah, no,
it's
it's-
back on there.
Okay, thank you.
We corrected
Yeah,
it.
Thank you.
We could not correct it the
Yeah,
night
yeah,
of.
the night of.
But the next agenda, actually 2 agenda items away, we're going to vote on the
Yeah,
correct
okay,
one, okay?
thank you, all right.
Yeah.
All right.
Do I have any changes?
Do you have a spare copy of that? Because that didn't come with what was emailed.
Yeah, I think I did. Oh, here, there should be, it's on the second page of this one. Oh, you printed your
I have
agenda.
everything, but
But that.
I didn't get that.
Yeah.
Okay.
Uh-huh.
Only, in item 3, approval needs to be corrected. misspelled word.
Oh, there's misspelled word.
Yes.
Oh, approval.
Yeah.
All right, anything else?
Tut, tut, tut.
I'm only gonna say that happens on occasion.
You're human, huh?
But I will change that and then get it out.
I move we accept the minutes from the,
Approved.
approve the minutes from the Monday, July 1st meeting.
I second. All ayes?
Aye.
Any nays? All right, good to go. So from there, and sorry about the skipping around process, but I knew that Poe, and our guests, we don't always want them to have to stay if they don't want to. Then I'm gonna go ahead and go to item 4, which is now item 5. I renumbered them so that I would not get confused. Discussion of Juanetta Hills plaster project with the Tin Town Shelter. I had the pleasure of meeting with her, also an Arts Commission member, to talk about a project that she was interested in doing with the homeless shelter, and I thought it was really interesting. And I just wanted to give a chance for her to sort of describe it and see if you guys had any interest in maybe pursuing something like this. I really like the idea of doing a project with the transient population here, and so I thought that was kind of beautiful. But if you want to give a brief synopsis of what it was, and hey, pull your microphone up.
My background is working with transient populations, and I have done mask projects with them in Indiana for an extended period of time. And how we use a mask, actually making an actual replica of their face, we use that as a canvas and a means of them to tell a story. So it can be theme-based, or we can have a creative expression, but it allows individuals to tell a story symbolically that has meaning to them. And I was envisioning this as a way to have a discussion in the community with the homeless, with people who are in transition, and the community at large. So it would be multifaceted. They would do the art. We would showcase their work, hopefully at the Central School, and have a roundtable discussion with the public about their life experience, and also to create a booklet that they could sell, or however we would do it. But I'm envisioning that I would be working with Tin Town and any other groups that would want to participate in that over a 7 to 12 month period, and then to showcase it for the community. This has been done in other communities, and it started very small and it grew into an annual event. And I think that Bisbee is right for that type of expression, and it's specifically because it's a community that's invisible.
So sorry. No, I just thought, one of the things, like I said, that I personally am trying to be conscientious of is getting art to parts of the community where it's not as easily accessible. And so I thought that was sort of a beautiful idea of working with the Tin Town Shelter and doing something in that capacity. So I wanted to let her introduce this idea and see how you guys felt about it, or maybe doing something. Juanetta had asked us for grant money before she was a member. It makes it a little bit different now because it would have to be more of an Arts Commission project. And would you be open to maybe changing some of, the idea of, because it's going to change, since it's not just you, but it's all of us engaged.
It would have to be rewritten for that, yes.
So I thought it was an interesting prospect.
I like the long-term span of it too.
What I would ask from Juanetta is maybe we can meet up again and talk about how we can make it, rewriting it so that it could be something that we would do. We could put it on as another discussion in the next meeting and see what you guys feel like. If we could make it more appropriate for, instead of a grant, but doing it as a commission. I just think that it's, like I said, a lovely idea to get them engaged too. So often art funding just goes to people who have more education and, you know, art backgrounds, but the most important part about art, of course, is getting it to other people.
That's correct.
And it does change the community, and it
Yeah.
does
It
change
does.
that community specifically, once they're involved in a creative
Definitely,
mode. It
definitely.
can change.
And
population.
Tony at Tin Town and I have had several discussions about doing this.
It's possible too, as we just discussed the San Jose area, that an exhibition might be useful in one of those rooms and an ongoing place to create that, so.
Oh, that's great. The idea of doing something maybe at the annex. Yeah.
That would be a great idea.
So it's a
Great
nice spin-off.
location.
Yeah, it's a good
Yeah.
location for it, yeah. Because there really isn't any place in Tin Town to create, I mean, it would be hard to find that place.
So it would be an ongoing growing thing visibly.
Yeah.
Potentially.
Yeah.
That means that somebody, yeah, we'd have to talk to the library annex next
We
too
would,
and see
yeah.
what capacity we could work with them, but
Yeah,
are you open to the idea of
Oh,
sort of
definitely.
forming it and seeing if we can get it out there?
definitely.
Then
Yeah.
we'll put it on the agenda next time so that we can discuss it again. See, it's not, even though there's a million agenda items, we're doing pretty good. Well, there's just so many lovely ideas, you know, and so, and possibilities. We're doing okay. Would anyone like to add anything to item 5, which was previously item 4? All right, so we'll get the ball rolling in this way, okay? Next, we're gonna go to Sharon Sutter's favorite item, which was previously 5 and is now 6. Discussion and possible approval for the Bisbee Arts Commission to purchase boxes and canvases for the SIG Art vending machine on an ongoing basis when needed. And I would like to thank Nina for the wonderful phrasing. So I move to approve for the Bisbee Arts Commission to purchase boxes and canvases for the SIG Art vending machine on an ongoing basis when needed, so the Sharon Center doesn't have to just keep on getting reimbursed. Do I have a second?
I second.
All right. All ayes?
Aye.
Any nays? You can tell we've already done that one.
We have to repeat ourselves once in a while.
It's the phrasing that messes us up sometimes, I think. So,
Oh, I'm sorry.
it happens to the best of us.
I thought I turned it off.
And so now, I'm gonna let Sharon do this one. Item 7, which was previously 6, update and discussion of the BAC's ongoing project, the SIG Art vending machine.
So probably the first thing everyone is curious about is how's the machine doing?
Yes.
We have already, at one time earlier, well, the machine launched May 24th. We have already deposited $1,500 from sales after the event where we deposited quite a bit more than that.
So in a month.
In a month, yeah. And so now already in the machine, as of today, there's $740 since we've, so the machine's working. On average right now, we've just recently dropped to less than 1 a day. But just this last week, it's been on average that we're selling at least 1 piece a day, which is really exciting because $10 a day to the BAC times 365 days of the year, and this is summer. I think our machine's successful, just to give you that. Let me go real quickly. There is, hold this up, there's signage that has to be completed on the machine, and I have it
It's on
here.
item 7, yeah.
Oh, is it on this item? Okay, so we're
We're
gonna talk
approve
about
the
signage, yeah.
printing, yeah.
Of that signage.
Oh, no, sorry, I'm very sorry. I thought you meant for the advertising posters. That's
No,
not
no,
even-
no, no.
Okay.
Let me real quickly just share with you, there will be, I'm cattywampus, sorry about that. So the vending machine, how do I flip this?
Yeah, I'll
Do
take
you want to
it.
flip it for me? Thank you. Okay, so the vending machine currently has our BAC logo on top, lacking any information other than what I have printed on a piece of white paper on the 3 elements, and it needs to be finalized. And so we have it finalized and ready to send to be, there you go. So those are the elements. Everybody remember?
It flipped back.
Did it? Oh shit.
I need to re-push the button. Hold on a second.
Alright, there it is.
Mhm.
And the verbiage is what's already been there, so if you haven't read it, you should go over there and read it, but it's just going to give it the final touch that it needs. So I will be having to, once again, put it on my credit card unless we can have the city use the credit card for that as well. That's up to you guys. I don't know how that works.
Well, we would have to put it as an agenda item to vote on the amount. We do it next time.
It's been sitting there with just the white paper on it up until now. I'm kind of in a hurry to get it done, kind of just to get it done.
Then if you're
So I don't mind,
we can
mind.
reimburse you.
Yeah, that might be only $60.
Put that on
so
the
that's
next
not gonna-
agenda.
Yeah, put it on the agenda.
I'm sorry, Sharon.
That's okay,
I
that's
didn't,
okay.
wasn't aware of that one.
Yeah.
We're trying to get it so that Sharon said
And
we're
I-
not having to be reimbursed every hour on the hour.
The machine is doing well though, so it's a good thing to promote the machine. Yes, please.
What size will that be?
Have you seen it? It's on the machine already.
It's those,
Okay, it's much larger.
It's very large.
Okay.
it's those shapes that Carlos built
It's
for
our,
us.
it's our elements for our logo, and now they're being filled with verbiage.
Okay,
And it needs to happen. Right now, it's just sheets of white paper
right,
printed out from my printer,
okay.
taped onto the. Look, and the truth is, I have to tell you also that I let this last stretch of time go without babying the machine, without doing anything, without promoting it, without,
Just to see.
just to see how it does on its own. And I'm happy to say it works, but I do think it can do a whole lot better if we start to actively pursue promoting that machine. One way is the posters that we need to put around town, which we have on the agenda coming up. Another way is
Social media.
social media, and I do hope that each one of the commissioners will take it upon themselves to go to the BAC's Facebook page and repost posts about the machine, and even come up with new reasons. Like, for example, right now it's back to school for a lot of college students. You go back to a dorm room, it's pretty damn small, but you can have your art collection. I mean, things like that could be brought up as a reason for people to be going to the machine and giving gifts to
Yes.
their graduates or whatever. Okay, so are there
The,
students?
the term, just so you guys know, and I don't remember exactly how you, the terminology for this, but if you share something off the BAC page, people are less likely to see it than if you yourself just write a post about it.
Right on.
So
It's like that for every page. If I go to the City of Bisbee page and share something, it drops the
Yes.
amount of people,
Right.
the visibility, because they want you to pay.
that's right.
So if you make a personal post and you're like, look what I got out of the machine, that is so much better than if you share what the Bisbee, or what the BAC
How
puts
does
on
the
there.
pay-in work? What does that mean? When we write something on Facebook, we pay?
No, you can, so if you have a business page or a BAC page or a government page, I think the city can do this too. If you boost it, you pay for it.
Yes,
So you like
yes.
$10 for a week, or you can spend as much as you want. And it does work, but we want to avoid that. It can get very expensive.
Right.
But just as an aside,
Okay, thank you. Yeah, I'm not real savvy with social media, although I tend to use it a little bit. So let's all decide that we can each maybe once a month, if we take a turn, each of us take a week of the month or whatever, to decide it'll be our turn to promote the machine.
We had to be reminded of that.
Yeah.
That's really interesting.
Yeah. And if you need photos of whatever you would like to
Okay.
have on your post, that
we have
could,
a lot,
yeah, we have photos. All right, next, let me just share with you really fast that I did go to Meow Wolf, and I just wanted you to see what the other machines are providing people with
Yeah, well, it's an arts organization, and
in Santa Fe.
yeah, and they have also a cigarette art machine.
And the company that is called Artomat, so I grabbed their little brochure, and the reason I grabbed it, I'll explain next. And this is what you get for your $5. Now, each artist only makes like $2. It's a block, it's got a print on it, and it's not much. I mean,
It
it's
doesn't.
Oh, but they only, how much does it cost you?
$5.
$5.
Yeah. So I'm happy that, we don't have to sell 4 items to get to the place that they're at. I mean, that's just a lot of stocking the machine. So, but the reason that I want to talk to you a little bit more about this advertising, I don't think we need to do anything like this, but I would like to suggest that, and I'm willing to do this, because I'm crazy, that we might put a binder with the machine, chained to the machine with, just artist bios inside of it, because really, there's no way for anybody to understand whose work they're collecting, even if with a poster up on the wall. So I realized that they had a binder explaining themselves more than their artists. But I think we could have, a page for each of the artists, a biographical, statement, or whatever, and I'd be willing to do that.
Maybe include contact information. One of the problems
Right.
is some artists didn't have a card, so
Right,
there's no way
a lot
to
of
contact
artists
them.
didn't even have websites, so the whole idea of directing people to a website didn't work either.
I think that's a really good idea to have their bios.
Yeah, so that's a job, and it's another, effort, but I'm willing to do it because I think it needs to be done.
Can I ask,
It'll help promote the machine.
can I
Yes.
ask, I'm not visualizing the size or the bio.
Just a binder, an 8.5 by 11 sheet of
8.5 by
paper
11,
inside of a plastic protecting
Oh, okay.
sheet,
So there's a
simple.
book, is that?
Yeah,
what
we'll
it's-
just create a book for people to flip through to get information about the artists in the machine.
Oh.
And then, the other reason I looked strongly at this machine in Santa Fe to figure out what it is that they're doing differently. And one of the things that they have differently than us is they have half of the machine practically dedicated to what they're calling mystery. You don't know what you're going to get. And I understand now why. As we approach the end of the first 3 months, our artists have a 6-month commitment to be in the machine. Some of them will carry on as their works are selling well, and as some artists' works don't sell and we decide to replace them with other artists who are asking to get in, I have this idea that perhaps what we need to do is buy from those artists their works, not for the $10 because we can't really up that money that quickly, but if the artists don't want to take the pieces back, we have an investment even just in the boxes, and their names are, it's like to give that all back. And it might be that that's what we vote to do. Or to suggest or to offer the artist that we buy the pieces for $5, and then the BAC makes $15 on those mystery slots. We could have a few mystery slots as we change out the art
I see
in the
what you're saying,
machine.
yeah.
And I realize that that is what they're doing in Santa Fe. That they have artists, that was a specific artist's work.
So if they're not selling,
But
then they're kind of putting them all together in a mystery
Yeah,
pack.
and that mystery slot is still selling. It's not like that's not gonna sell. We did have a mystery slot and it sold out twice. That's just to prove to you that mystery art
Takes the
does
bill.
sell. Takes the bill. No. But no, the idea that people not knowing at all what they're getting is also an okay thing. People like that. So
People can, as long as they know they're not gonna know, then they're okay with it, yeah.
we're not
Would
at
the
a,
mystery slot
So
be
you're
a
saying
little
this-
less to encourage them to buy?
no, we can't change the pricing of the
Has to be all
machine. The
the same.
machine's all the same price. There's no
Okay.
way to change the pricing. But it would be a way for, if we end up with Dale Miller's not selling for some reason, his necklaces, I don't want to give them back to him necessarily, unless he wants them back. If he wants to accept $5 a piece for the boxes, then we can put them into the mystery slot. And he's not really out, and we're promoting him still.
Yeah,
Does
we
that
have
make
to-
sense?
Yeah, for sure. And we-
Anyway, something to think about. I don't think we can vote on that right now. I think we should just consider
No, that's a
that
good idea. When is
We
our
have 6
3-month
months.
mark?
September 1.
So we owe money on, so we're gonna
So
start.
September 1, I'll be doing an inventory, sending it to Nina, and then,
Well, I have to, cause I have to make the payouts. I do that so that Nina doesn't have to do that.
okay, all right, or I can do it.
We do
either
it
or.
together.
Yeah, we'll do it together. Okay.
There's a lot of artists, so we have to write all the sheets for all the payouts for the city, because I wouldn't wish that on mine, or send me, much less very nice Nina.
Okay, I think that covers everything that I have to talk about with regards to the machine. Does anybody have any questions about the machine?
I do have one question. As you give me your presentation, this is what I've heard. I am doing this, I am doing this, I am doing this, I am doing this also. I don't mind, I can do that too. So the question is, who is actively working with you on this machine besides yourself?
Nobody.
Right now, it's just
This is
Sharon.
my legacy
Yeah.
to the Bisbee Arts Commission.
Oh, okay.
When Sharon took this project on, she realized that she might be in that situation. That's the
Yeah.
one thing why I did the accounting, because at least that part can be taken off.
Okay.
But I
If
mean,
somebody
when-
wants to jump up and say they'll do that binder for me, I wouldn't stop them, so.
And we can work on it together too. The other thing is, when there are a bunch of boxes to pack, you're gonna ask us, right? Because we did that part together. I mean, but Sharon still did most of it.
Well, I can donate the binder. I've got a pretty one with flowers on it and it's not been used for anything and it's nice and fat.
I'll be
Yeah.
happy to get the information and type it up and put it
So
in
I'll send
plastic
you-
things.
Okay,
That's great, that's
Okay, I'll
great.
send you a list of artists. And
yeah.
I do believe that, by the way, this commission, everyone should have that list of artists. And there will be more artists coming in, but right now I'll get you that list of 22 artists.
And you have
then-
their contact
And I have their
information.
contact,
Yeah,
yes.
so if you get the contact information, then maybe we can take off some of that
All right,
load.
well,
That's a
thank
great point,
Thank you,
Juanita.
Juanita.
You're welcome.
I just don't think to delegate. Anyway, thank
You
you.
can always ask.
That's right. I'm available except for Thursdays. Okay?
Well, that's what, the packing in the boxes is so,
But now it's
It's not so bad.
it's never going to be what it was to get that machine up and running. We don't have to pack 250 boxes ever again. We just pack them now as the artwork comes in, so it's really not a big
No
deal.
more magnets.
No more
No
magnets.
more
I just got rid of the
magnets.
magnets today.
I have one question.
Yes.
Would if we do this mystery thing where they're not signed, would they be in the bio
Yes,
folder too?
I
yes,
think that'd be great.
Yeah, okay.
yes. That could become a rather thick collection of, yeah.
It would be the beginning of a repository.
Exactly.
Yes.
I know, she's.
She knew she was gonna get that in there somewhere.
It's been an ongoing,
I really want the city to have like a.
we need a repository for artists. There actually is one at the visitor center, but about half of the artists in the book are dead. We're no longer living here. It's very, very old at this point. So we've been talking about it. It's just a very time-consuming thing to make a repository, but
So this gets it going.
I brought this along to show you from Eureka Springs.
Is it another box?
No, it's a list of all the artists and
Okay.
about where they are located.
oh, that's great.
We really need something like that.
Yeah.
So we're good on that one. We'll go ahead then to item 7, which is actually 8. Discussion and possible approval to pay to print advertising posters for the cigar machine in the amount up to $200. I came up with that amount. I don't know why.
Discussion has been approved.
Because it seemed like a place to start.
Okay, and it's gonna be more than enough.
Isn't it? That's what I thought.
More than enough, and we won't spend that much.
We paid Tamara to design a poster. Now we want to print the poster, so that's really what it's about. It won't be anywhere close to 200, as I often make the number too much so that it fall, so that we have some wiggle room. I will motion to approve to pay to print advertising posters for the cigar machine in an amount up to $200. Do I have a second? All ayes?
Aye.
Any nays? Thank you. Yeah, we're doing good, okay. Item 9 is item 9. Discussion and possible sponsorship in the amount of $1,000 to Central School for travel expenses for visiting artist Alan Bull in conjunction with the Bisbee Plain Arts Festival. If you look in your agenda packet, past post email, there is a very wonderfully done breakdown and budget of what exactly they're asking for. I want to say, first off, I'm going to recuse myself from this as the president of Central School, okay, from this vote. And that's one of the things, Laura McKenna could not be here, so if you have any questions, then hopefully I can answer them for you. I thought she did a very good job of explaining what she was asking for. I don't know if I'm supposed to be positive about it, though. And on the back, you'll see the budget.
Where's the lodging?
The Bisbee Foundation is doing 700.
Yes, and Lori wanted to make it clear that even if she was requesting 1,000, they would be more than happy for less than that, They didn't ask us for money for make this year, which traditionally they do, so she wanted some help with this, but.
That's true. Good question. Lodging for the artist, is that determined? It's not a part of our BAC expense, so I guess it really doesn't matter to us. It's never donated. Oh, it's already been donated. Okay, all right.
Yeah, I think that Silver King often donates all the accommodations because the owner is a member of Central School. And sometimes they put them up in like somebody's house that we know, like Chloe Galligan or something like that, but.
know they're gonna make $9.11 to get all the money they asked for.
No, it says, where does it say?
No, the demand is $4,890.29, and they're asking for $4,900 total from all of, not just from us, but.
From the Southern Arizona Community Foundation, all of these things. It's expensive.
Yeah, it's expensive.
It's expensive bringing artists into town.
Well, I would say that we have the money in our coffers, I'm assuming, for doing this, and I think it's a beautiful project that the city does annually, and it's worthy of. And since we're not going to be donating to the Central School Project for the MAKE event this year, I vote we give $1,000 for this plenary.
Do I have a motion?
Motion that we vote.
Can you read the agenda?
Where is the agenda?
Sorry.
What number is it?
It's actually number 9, and it is number 9.
Number 9, and it is number 9, okay. I motion that we approve the amount of $1,000 to Central School for the travel expenses of visiting artist Alan Bull in conjunction with the Bisbee Plein Air Arts Festival.
Do I have a second?
Second.
I have a question. It says item 9 for travel expenses, but they list the travel expenses here of $525.
That's right.
Do what?
It should be other than just travel expenses.
Yeah, they actually very specifically say it for travel
5,
expenses.
6, that's funny, hold on a second. Let's add it up. Oh, no, wait. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Oh, there's a plot, the artist honorarium is also what they're requesting.
They didn't put
It
it
didn't
on.
say in the agenda item.
Yeah.
It's not on the agenda.
Well, the traveling would include the 525 and the 270, because that's for the rental car and the airfare.
Yeah,
You didn't
it's
tell me
800.
about the honorarium.
Well, when she told me what she was asking for, she said travel, and so that's what I said. But let me add it up and see what it comes to, okay?
800 for travel.
So we could just do 800.
Okay,
I mean, that's an option.
thank you for noticing.
Yeah, thank you so much for noticing.
And as it's worded, it's probably the way we need to grant that money, yeah.
Yeah, so it would be 795. Well, let me add it again in case I'm being slow.
So
Okay. 795.
you're adding the travel there?
Yeah, so-
And the rental car.
And
The request was for, no, we're taking the honorarium out of it.
Okay.
Yeah,
But you
I'm
guys
sorry,
made a
because that's
motion.
what I just did for what you told
No,
me.
that's what she
Okay.
told me too.
You guys made a motion, now you are changing the motion?
We're gonna
Yeah.
change this motion.
Well, you already made a motion, maybe you should,
Somebody else should make the motion.
no, I was gonna say, you made a motion, maybe you should vote on that motion
And then just say nay.
and just
Say
say nay,
all.
Oh, okay.
and then you can.
Let's do a roll call vote on that then. So yeah, what we're doing is essentially, members do not want to approve this motion, we will make a second motion after this. Does that make sense? Okay.
Okay.
Let's roll call it.
Juanetta Hill,
Nay.
Karen Schumacher,
I'm abstaining.
that's right, I forgot, sorry.
That's okay.
Sharon Stetter,
Nay.
Kadri Wilkinson,
Nay.
Sandra Smith,
Nay.
Do I have a
Motion passes.
motion?
Motion fails.
Fails.
Motion fails.
Confusing me. Do I have a new motion?
I make a motion that the commission provides $795 for travel expenses for the visiting artist Alan Bull to the Central School Project.
Do I have a second?
I second that motion.
Please roll call it.
Juanetta Hill,
Yes.
Karen Schumacher's abstaining, Sharon Stetter,
Yay.
Kadri Wilkinson,
Aye.
Sandra Smith,
Yes.
Motion passes. Thank you, guys. Yeah, sorry about the confusion. That's what I thought it was about.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for catching that,
Yeah,
too.
very good. The line guy.
So we'll let Lori know, okay? Do you have an updated address for Central School, I'm assuming?
I think so.
Yeah, I think so. If you don't, ask.
I'll call you, I'll email you.
All right, guys, we're doing very well. Let's see what we got next. Now the items are actually red items. So, item 10, discussion regarding public outreach, grant sponsorships to include but not limited to the advertising of the upcoming grant funding cycle. Last meeting, we voted to have our submission due date October 17th. We give out grants once a year. This would be to artists in the community who want to do a project, up to usually $500 and in total $5,000. In the last couple of years, we haven't actually had as many people as I would like apply. So we had discussed doing a little bit more public outreach. We're more than 2 months out right now, so now would be, in the next couple of weeks, would be the time to start, in my opinion. Right? So between you and myself, Nina, I would say that the paper's on a Thursday.
I have to have it in by that Tuesday at noon.
So I think if we started the last week in August, we'd still have a lot of advertising going on.
And so do you want it every week or just?
What's our cost right now? What's the cost for
It's $375.
a week?
No, for the per something. So I'd have to get her to give me a quote of what, if this is what you want it to look like, I'd have to ask her how much this would be, and then I could
So we
let
still
you know.
have to vote on it.
No,
Okay.
we've already voted on
We already voted.
advertising. It's just you would have to let me know if that's how many times you want it in there, or if you only want it once.
What do you guys think?
I want to look at the address.
I'd said anything more than once.
Yeah, there's a typo in this too.
I tell you.
And then it's like,
Go to
that's good. No,
Also,
oh, the also.
Oslo. Oslo.
Let's all look it over.
also,
words that we always do wrong every time.
also, can I ask a question? I'm not sure that we are also seeking community support for public events. That's not real clear what we're really seeking.
And that's-
You want people to donate to us to
That's
help
a-
events?
No, that's leftover from the ads.
Right, and I just put it back on there just in
We can
case.
take that out.
Yeah, we can take whatever you want out. I just left it on there
Yeah.
just in case.
That's out for years, for some reason, it has said that.
Yeah.
Let's take that out.
Okay,
Okay.
This is more for individual artists at this time.
yep.
And maybe it'd be nice to have our new mission statement on there instead of, or have it on there somewhere.
I think that's a great idea.
Yeah.
And the word arts, it's just the A that's capitalized, not all ARTS.
Oh, okay, I thought you just said that you wanted the
Just
whole.
the A.
I think she
the
just
A.
wanted the A.
Okay, my bad.
So
Sorry.
mission statement.
Sorry, I wasn't clear.
Let's put
about that.
individual artist grants, I think, makes more sense than individual grants.
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. And I like the fact that it says five, last time people were confused because it used to
Right,
say up to
right.
5,000. That was actually the total amount that we gave out to the
And
community.
they don't need to know that, yeah.
And they don't need, because we should have a little bit of leeway. If somebody comes with a project and it's a little bit over our budget, that gives us leeway. Deadline Thursday, October 17th, happy with that.
Yes.
No, the deadline is the 17th of October, and then the applications will be reviewed by us.
On November 4th, I think is that
November
first
4th?
Monday. Mhm.
Yeah, okay.
And
that's
that
fine.
2-week period will give me enough time to notify all the artists to make sure that they attend the meeting.
Okay. I just wanted to make sure I'm back in town.
So there's also in here, I think that she included the application that I rewrote.
Yes.
And there's a couple things that I have to change. Also, I think we did this last year. If you read over it and you see anything, email Nina to email me so that I can edit it.
Okay.
I would like to get it up in the next couple weeks. So just, we'll have it up there, right?
Yeah.
Once we have this, then I would like to take turns perhaps sitting outside the library, like a Bisbee shuffle, sitting outside the library, talking to people about the opportunity, and having this grant application
Right there.
physical form so that we can hand it out.
Excellent.
I'm all over that.
Oh, yeah.
And-
Love it, that's so much fun too.
Yes.
So let's look at dates. if we're gonna start advertising the last week in August, maybe we should start doing the other thing the last week in August. So maybe Friday, August 30th would be the first time.
And Karen, you're not gonna have a quorum, it's just gonna be two of you at a time, right?
Yes, two of
Okay,
us.
okay, I just wanted to make sure.
I'm willing to do it. Is there anybody that's willing to do it with me?
I would love to do it with
You
you.
do it with me?
Yeah, I'm out of town that weekend with
Well,
the retreat.
we'll start there.
That's Friday,
And
August the
then
what?
we'll do it again. We'll have another meeting before the next time we do it anyway. But I
30th?
just want to go ahead and start doing that. So that means that I'm going to get the finished application to you by that date too.
Mhm.
So we'll get the whole thing the last week of August up and running in the newspaper.
Correct.
Okay.
So yeah, you guys, if you want to look over the artist grant application, and if you feel like there's changes that need to be made, email Nina, who will email me. Because I changed it drastically.
I have a question. Often we may have an individual that is very artistic, but when it comes to writing a grant and
Mhm.
filling that out, they have challenges
Mhm.
doing that. Will we offer support if someone says, could you help me in writing the grant out?
That'd be helping them, so you can't, they'd have to find somebody else that has done it, like we could put, Karen or somebody could put them in contact with somebody else that has done that.
Okay.
It's
But-
a delicate balance.
Right,
We still do, and we make it easier than most, we still do paper. And almost no grant on earth is like paper anymore. Last year we talked about, I wanted to move it to, online submission, but
Mhm.
because we have a population that's older and not technologically as well versed sometimes as others,
Mhm.
then we're still doing it the old way.
Yes, and if it's.
Central School does the same thing too, they
Yeah.
still do
but
it.
Karen, if you're gonna make too many changes now, other than the one for the dates, then it'll have to be voted on again, if you're gonna change the wording of this application.
Unless you desperately want to change it, something.
Don't change it yet.
I mean, we
I have
can,
to change the date.
the dates are fine, that I can
Okay.
change without, because it is for the new cycle.
Mhm.
Alright, let's somebody see something.
Let's look at it now.
Yeah, well, we don't have it, let's see what we have on the. We can't vote on anything right now.
No, we can't vote on anything, it's, you wanted just a discussion.
If you were on the commission before, I think we did this before, but
Okay.
if it was a
Just one
typo.
thing, can I suggest?
If it's a typo, that's one thing, they don't have to vote on it. Changing the date doesn't have to vote on it, but if you wanna add something or take something out, then it has to be voted on.
Just in their 4 steps to the funding process, number 2, could you just add the address of the city hall? Because a lot of people don't even know where it is. And I know you have it at the end where to send these, but it seems like it might be helpful, especially to older people.
Yeah.
That would be acceptable to add, right?
That's fine,
Okay.
I can add that.
I agree with that.
Oh, good.
Yeah. And the 8 copies is non-negotiable, we talk about this every year.
Okay.
Yes, because I don't wanna have to make 8 copies, so,
They have to make it.
That's been going on for years too.
Yes.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
I think we proofread it before, I'm
Yeah,
not,
we did last year.
yeah. I know that it is longer than it was before, but there was a reason, because we weren't getting very much information. So this was sort of a way of forcing information out of people. We're looking for local community impact, that's always the most important thing.
It looks good to me.
I think we've proofread it before. It's always, there's always things that can be a little bit better, but I think it's okay.
and if you do see a typo, just email me and let me know, and then I can change it before it goes back onto the website.
What I did, just for you guys that had not been on the commission before, I actually went to other cities and looked at their applications and stole the appropriate things from a bunch of different places and put them together. So that it would be appropriate for us, so. That was the best way for me. I would like to take back the word stole, borrowed.
Sure.
Appropriate.
I appropriated it.
So, real quick question, we haven't encountered this problem for a while, let's say we get a lot of people now, wouldn't that be nice? So we'll be getting to be very discriminatory about what gets money, okay.
And we should be, and that's always the hardest part of the Arts Commission, I think, is saying no.
Mhm.
And I'm the worst at saying no in a lot of ways, because I think that any art is better than no art in that way. But yeah, well, let's see where we're at.
Okay.
Because if we're standing there
Yeah.
handing out applications, the people don't like filling out forms. It's always amazing to me.
Mhm.
So,
I don't.
When we receive the application, do we have a checklist? I know there's the application itself, but is there a checklist that we, during the discussion, that says, okay, they meet this criteria, they meet this criteria, they meet this
I don't think
criteria?
we've done that before because you've just looked at it and it's pretty much self-explanatory of what we're going to, what you're going
you're
to,
in this too.
what you're going to fund. So I think they kind of know. I mean, we could always say at the beginning, because there are certain things the Bisbee Arts Commission won't pay for.
Yeah, we said no last time.
Mhm.
There were people who did not meet the criteria. But we were very generous because there weren't as many applicants.
Right.
So it will be a little bit harder in that way.
A little fairer, actually.
It is, and there's a lot of, the people, in this community that should be applying in this way. There's people that I would love to get the information to.
Mhm.
So, all right, anything else about that? So we have it Friday, August 30th, you and me doing the hustle in front of the post office.
Certainly.
Yeah.
I'll revamp the advertisement, send it to you for approval, and then we'll get to go.
We'll get it in that week, and then I'll get you this. We just have to change the date then.
That's all. And
And
I've already,
add the
and
address.
add the address. Yeah, that's the
Add
only
the
two
address.
things I need to
Adding
do.
the mission
adding the
statement.
mission statement wouldn't be a terrible thing. Is that
On
getting
the, on the ad, on the ad.
Advertisement, yeah, no, I put that
Oh,
on
yeah.
there already. I mean, I
Yeah,
put it to put on there.
And we took out that we are also seeking community
Right,
support. Okay.
Yep, we took that
And
out.
I have just one question, is activity dates for this round, supported activities should take place between November.
That's what we're changing. The dates we're changing.
Oh, okay, so what are you changing them to?
Oh no, is that the new dates?
Those are the new
Okay,
dates,
so we
November
have
2019 to October 2020.
It has to be within the year.
So is that if an artist wants to paint a painting, it has to be finished by then and exhibited, or?
Well, this is the kind of the situation is that we don't necessarily fund someone just painting
It's
a
ongoing.
painting. It has to be a community, there has to be some sort of community outreach involved. Like, so if you paint a painting, what we ask is that you exhibit it in a place in the public, so that anybody can see you. If you do a play, you can't do it in your bedroom.
Yeah, so it had if it's a paint, I just used the painting, but it would have to be exhibited by those, in that
Yeah,
time.
within that time frame. That's
Yeah,
what we're
okay.
asking for.
Yeah, okay,
Yeah.
thanks.
Because otherwise, things just stretch out forever, I think. Does that answer the question?
Yeah, thanks.
All right. Anything else with that agenda item? All right, we're almost there. Item 11, update on the bulletin board. This is really funny, actually. Okay, so we wanted to fix the bulletin board in front of the library, and we got approval to release the funds to the artist who made the bulletin board. Then the city got a whole new staff, and the public works director, who's awesome, Jesus, said, no, we should pay for that. It's because the city should be fixing their own bulletin boards, not the Arts Commission. Well, I talked to him today, the city now believes that Ben Dale should fix the bulletin board because they don't know how to, because it's not really a regular bulletin board.
Right.
So now it's reverted back to us.
Okay.
So now Ben Dale's gonna meet with Jesus and look at the cork board that they already ordered and
Okay.
see if we can use that. And then we can just release less funding if we can use what they already have. So we're really back to step one.
Okay.
I can't even express my frustration, but I want to get the bulletin board. The only good thing is this is not actually the best time to fix the bulletin board.
No, with the rain.
So if it takes another month or two, that's fine. Yeah, during the monsoon. So, but we are going to get. It's the last thing I do in this life. I'm going to fix the bulletin board. Okay. That's what my one dream at this point. Okay. So yeah.
Yay.
Item 12. discussion regarding the general purpose of the Bisbee Arts Commission. I always include this in case somebody wants to, has something that they're up to or want to talk about. We've had a long, oh yeah, please.
Yeah, I just got back from a little trip and I saw something absolutely fabulous that I thought would be great for Bisbee.
Oh, great.
It's in, oh dear, the name of the town starts with O, Utah, Ogden. And all along the street, the main street, the business section, they have gigantic horses made from plexiglass that are painted by different artists, or somebody will take on a project. At one of the schools, the kids in the art class painted some of these horses. And then they're cemented in front of different stores, like maybe that store spot, I don't know how, I tried to find out how it works. But I thought but it's really eye-catching and it's very artistic and it's so, just so whimsical. And I thought it'd be really neat to have little javelina pigs along the street, all painted with, roses around their necks or whatever.
Yeah, they did this in California with cows, I remember, in Point Reyes.
Austin had cows, I think. New Orleans has, New Orleans had coyotes, I think.
I do love the idea of little javelina covered in
Yeah,
flowers.
right. And Grand Junction, Colorado, they also had a similar thing. But I just thought it'd be kind of fun. I could try and find out how they fund it or, how it works.
Yeah, would you be willing to contact that city
Yeah,
and see how
yeah.
it works, and then we can put it on the agenda next time?
Right, I brought a little article just I found.
We did that in, South Bend, Indiana.
So how long do they stay there?
Well, I think
Gorillas.
because of winter weather there, they take them down and put them in a warehouse for the winter.
Takes 20
That's-
people 2 days to secure these horses in concrete bases.
Because they're life size, they're big. Some of the horses were standing up on their hind legs. I mean, it's amazing to see these things.
We actually.
But with our temperature here, I don't think they'd have
you
to.
auction them?
I think, considering it's Bisbee, it should just be a bunch of miners.
Miners' wives, please.
A bunch of jackasses. Actually,
Donkeys.
mules would be good, yeah.
Mules would be
Or
good
how
in the
many either
mountains,
one,
yeah.
We've got our donkeys, we've already got a couple of, donkeys up
Yeah.
the street.
Yeah, if you'll find out more information from that city,
It'd be
we
cute,
can,
it'd be fun. It'd be
Yeah.
a fun thing to, also to put out into the community and get the
Right.
schools involved.
Yeah,
It'd be a
right,
great thing,
especially
too.
school, get the schools, maybe even the tin town, is that called? I'm not-
the Tin Town Shelter.
The people there that are working, that you get, maybe, everybody could get involved.
It
doing
creates
things.
community, and
Well,
that's
yeah.
what we're about.
It'd be a great thing to put in Warren, where they don't have,
Mhm.
make Warren a
They
little more
might like
colorful
us,
too,
yeah,
yeah.
they might like us better.
It's Bisbee, old Bisbee, the sidewalks are so small that we're a little limited, but Warren has been asking for something. When Andy Heretic was still here, he was like, Warren needs something. They wanted to do a mosaic project, but mosaics are really expensive. Wouldn't that be cool if you went to Warren and there were donkeys everywhere? I think it'd be great. When I get a really angry email after this meeting, we'll find out, but, I think it's lovely, yeah. Cool.
I'm sorry, Sandra, what was that called again that you said? What was it?
It's in Ogden, Utah, where they have these.
No, what is it, like, is it a statue art
It's
or?
a statue.
Yeah,
Installations.
big life-size statues made out of plexiglass of horses in different poses.
And that doesn't mean we
Okay.
can use
Auction them
anything.
off.
We can use other materials.
Yeah, no, I just wanted to, so I could put it on for the next agenda to discuss, I just didn't know
How
what,
do you name it?
how to name it, I'm like, what is it?
You put javelinas, I like that.
I like the Hemelinas too.
Kelly is
Those are
annual.
And you can have a couple.
And turkey vultures.
Turkey balls.
Vultures, oh my God.
Alright.
Never mind.
We're getting a little crazy. No, I think it's
We're
beautiful.
creating a zoo in Warren. They don't even know it.
Sorry. No, anybody else? So, future agenda items, I think what do we have?
We have, Kate Scott,
Oh, great.
Juanita Hills project to be discussed again.
Mm-hmm.
The reimbursement for Sharon for the verbiage on the machine, and then Miss Smith's statue installation idea.
And then the regs, yeah, the regular ones, like 12, The regular.
Oh, yeah, the regular one's the 12, I'm sorry, yeah, 12 and 13.
Anybody want to put anything else you want to put on the agenda? Good? Then you and I will meet up about the other thing.
Do we want to discuss this idea of what we do with the leftover art? It's a little premature, I just want you
Yeah,
thinking
okay,
about
let's,
it.
So
let's get it,
discuss.
we'll get that on, let's go ahead and
Let's
start.
discuss it a little bit, because people can be thinking about it between now and the next meeting.
And we also will need to vote on the, will we need to vote on releasing the funds for the art, because we're gonna owe on September 1st.
No, I believe that we blanketed it the
Yeah,
first
we-
time we did it, so, and it's still the
We
SIG
are.
art machine, so I think it's fine.
Oh, great. There's your block.
My block.
Do I have a motion? Really?
Yes, we have a motion. I motion that we adjourn this meeting.
Yeah, I seconded.
All ayes?
Aye.
Have a great evening.
May I ask, while we're off